Today we're taking a look at another micro brand, and perhaps one of the most impressive things about the brand is its founder, a 19-year-old watch lover tapping into the beauty of entrepreneurship. And I've got to say straight off the bat that I respect the hell out of him for that. If I didn't have three little mouths expecting to eat 3 square meals a day, I might have the risk tolerance necessary to join him on such an awesome adventure. So let's take a closer look at the Valachio Avantiam. So you'll notice that this piece has a more formal to casual vibe to it than a majority of the sports related pieces that I tend to feature. Now in the background there's a gold tone variant that I'll show you in a little bit. I'd like to start by mentioning that this campaign is currently active on Kickstarter, and there's a link to the project in the video description. Now, unlike a majority of pieces available to you outside the vintage market, this piece has more reserved dimensions than its competition, and some people are going to like that and others aren't. Now, my foray into the vintage markets made me much more appreciative of more conservative dimensions like the 37.5mm case diameter that we're looking at here. Now, the design inspiration for this piece comes from the Nomos Metro and the Nomos Tangente, both instantly recognizable for their minimalist and modern designs, a concept that Avantiam takes and reinterprets here. Now, it's not difficult to see the influence of Nomos in the Avantiam's wire lugs, cleanly printed indices, and sleek overall feel. Now, I could easily picture its owner waiting for a freight-style elevator to access his or her studio apartment. Now, the focus of the dial is found at 6 o'clock in the open heart dial design. The Miyota 90S5 movement can be seen. Now you get a clear view of the balance wheel and even the pallet fork and escapement hard at work. Now this particular variant is essentially a skeletonized version of the much better known Miyota 9015. Now there's also some perlage on the small portion of the main plate that you can see. Now, as you pull your eyes out from the open heart, this variant greets you with a matte black dial. The polished Breguet style hands match the circular hour markers that you find at what would be every odd numbered hour spot on the dial. Now I will say that the polished hands don't give the kind of visibility at a glance that I would prefer. At some angles they blend into the black dial and I have to change the angle a little bit to get a good glance at the time. Now this isn't at all an issue on the gold tone offering with the white dial. Now the seconds hand matches the color of the circular hour markers on the dial and complements the overall design very well. The lume on this piece matches the ones on the pieces that it was inspired by, which means you're going to need a little light source to tell the time, but that's in line with the majority of dressier pieces. Now the push-pull crown is slightly offset at 330 rather than the 430 position that we're used to seeing. Now while it's not a necessity with smaller case sizes, it's an interesting design decision. Now the crown is small and gnarled for easy use and is also nicely signed with the Valachio V. While it's also available in a dressier crocodile leather band, this one is on a suede band, which I'm a pretty big fan of because it's very comfortable and gives it more of a casual feel, and both options will have a butterfly clasp that is also signed with the brand name. Now, in addition to the sapphire crystal over the dial, the screw-down exhibition caseback also has a sapphire crystal. Now, there is very minimal decoration on the movement and pretty much none on the rotor, and while that might warrant a solid caseback, I do understand why an exhibition caseback was used here. Now, one of the goals of the brand is to entice those that have never owned a mechanical watch. Now, while most of us take for granted the workings of these machines, the average non-watch nerd finds this design particularly cool. Now, of all the watches I've worn to review, this piece, the Dietrich, the Kratos, and the Sablier have probably gotten the most attention than any of the others I've worn. Now, most people at work wanted to know what was in the middle of the dial, and it sparked some good initial conversation before their eyes kind of started to glaze over as I got a little overexcited and went on a bit longer than they were willing to listen. Now, so what do I think about it? Now, subjectively, I'm not an open heart design type of person, and it's not a design that appeals to me personally. Objectively, overall, with the sapphire on the front and the back, a hacking and hand-winding movement with classic minimalist design, I think it's a pretty good offering. So who do I think it's good for? Now, well, the short answer to this is anyone that likes it, and prices for these on Kickstarter are pretty reasonable at just under $300 for both variants. Now, I also happen to think that this would make a great gift for someone that hasn't yet discovered the beauty of mechanical movements, and it has a way of appealing to the masses like most fashion brands do, while having a motor that can pull people over to watch collecting. Now, shockingly, Seiko doesn't appeal to everyone, and micro brands can present a great alternative in those instances. Now, if this is something that you would be interested in, or even better, you think would make a great gift for a loved one, make sure you check out the Kickstarter link that's in the video description. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this offering from Valachio. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. And as always, if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. That's it for this one. CG out.